Hey, it's Andryanna here. Welcome to The Juggle is Real. And listen, if your life feels full, and I mean it's starting to feel heavy, not in the best way, this episode is for you, not in a do more sort of reset way, but just like something to make things feel lighter. And I've been thinking a lot lately about not just how to reset now that we're in spring, but how to do a reset in a way that actually like lightens your life, not one that is adding more to it and making things feel heavier. Because I love a fresh start. I love Mondays. I love that feeling of turning a page, um, decluttering, clearing things out, getting organized. But you know what I don't love? I don't love when the fresh start feels like a lot of pressure, when the reset is about more expectations and more things to remember and keep up with. And then suddenly, the season that is supposed to feel lighter with spring and renewal, it just feels, like it just feels heavier. So today, I want to talk about a different kind of spring reset, one that actually supports you in real life every day, starting today, not the version that just looks good on paper. So, in this episode, I want to talk about why this time of year can actually feel more overwhelming, maybe for some of us, instead of refreshing, the mental load we're carrying, why that's so exhausting, and a simple way to approach the spring reset that clears space instead of creating more work. And I'm talking like really mentally, I'm talking about that mental load. I also want to share some real life moments, just literally just things that are happening in real time just this week, because this stuff, of course, the research is there, but it's not just theoretical. This is happening in my life in real time over here too. So if you've been feeling that quiet pressure that spring brings to get your life together, this is the reminder you don't necessarily need more. You might need some space, and that's why we're here. So let's dive right in.
This is the Juggle is Real podcast. I hope you feel seen, that you realize your worth, lighten your load, and prioritize your own needs. As we hear from leading experts and well-known faces in the wellness, entrepreneurship, education, and motherhood space, I hope you gain insights, proven practices, and learn actionable tools to help you enjoy the juggle of work, family, and everything in between with a little less stress and a lot more ease, joy, and fun. Most of all, I hope you find what you need to simplify, streamline, and supercharge your own journey of better balance and self-love. Are you with me? Let's get started.
This episode of The Juggle is Real is brought to you by Lindt, inviting you to make Easter sparkle with Lindt Gold Bunny. Easter is one of those holidays where the little traditions really matter. Gathering around the table, creating Easter baskets, or bringing something thoughtful when you're visiting friends and family. For generations, the iconic Gold Bunny has been part of those Easter traditions. It's carefully crafted by Lindt's maître chocolatiers using smooth Swiss chocolate and wrapped in that iconic gold foil with the red ribbon and a little bell. And it's one of those little details that instantly makes the holiday feel special. This year, Lindt is also bringing some delicious seasonal additions to their Easter collection, including the classic Gold Bunny in white chocolate, 50 grams, Gold Bunny bite-sized Easter bags in hazelnut and double milk chocolate, and my favorite, new Lindor white chocolate carrot cake truffles. They are perfect for Easter baskets, hosting, gifting, or sharing with family and guests. And as you plan, here is something fun to do before Easter arrives. Lindt has brought back their digital Gold Bunny hide and seek. When you visit lindt-gold-bunny.ca on your smartphone, you can explore the magical world of Gold Bunny and hunt for hidden bunnies. For ages 13 plus only, not for children under 13. You'll also be entered for the chance to win a grand prize of a 1-year supply of Lindt chocolate. So head to lindt-gold-bunny.ca on your smartphone for that. And to find everything you need to celebrate Easter, visit lindt.ca or stop by a Lindt chocolate shop near you. This Easter, create those sweet moments and make Easter sparkle with Lint Gold Bunny. Now let's get back to the episode. So here's what I've been noticing in my own life and in conversations with so many women lately. It's not that we're just it's busy. It's not busy. It's that we're carrying so much, really mentally. All of that invisible stuff with the planning and the remembering and the anticipating needs and holding emotional space for our family and our children. And researchers, we call this the cognitive load or the mental load. You're probably so familiar with this, but there are studies that show that women, and especially moms, it's so disproportionate. We carry this invisible load in our households, and the labor load is much greater for women. There was a 2019 study published in Sex Roles that found that women are more likely to be responsible for all those things, anticipating the needs, monitoring tasks, managing family logistics, and not just completing tasks. That is the exhausting part. It's not necessarily making dinner itself, but it's thinking about dinner at 9 a.m. and what are we going to have? And does something need to be defrosted? And do we have all the ingredients? Realizing you forgot maybe at 2 p.m. that you didn't take out anything and you have something right after school, trying to figure out when you get home what you can just quickly throw together while also answering emails, while helping someone with homework, while getting your gear together for someone's practice after school. It's all those little things. And even just this week, I've been thinking about this. And yesterday, I was like so drained. I was exhausted. And I was on the phone with my husband. We celebrated our youngest turn 5. And gosh, what a joyful time and so much fun. But if you host things, we had our family over, which is something we love to do, but we're cleaning and we're cooking and I'm putting up decorations. And of course, I had a full work day. And, we're talking about leading into Easter. I had a full Easter tablescape on my dining room table the morning of my son's birthday party with, fresh flowers and all the decorations and all the cutlery and glassware and stemware and napkins and all of the charger plates, all the things. And then I had to quickly turn it around to go into Hulk themed green and balloons and 5 years old and put everything together. And so then the next day, as I was again tidying, retidying, setting things up for some work things, trying to answer emails, I was just feeling so drained. It was a busy time. And, of course, I just had this big giant dinner the night before, but we got to have dinner again tonight, and it's that feeling of just being right in the middle of everything and everything happening all at once, the simultaneous remembering things for school and just all of the things, and so I just remember standing in the kitchen thinking how am I doing all of this right now? And why does it feel like everything is just suffocating me, And it's not even that it's bad things. It's not even that I'm complaining about any one thing in particular, because there's nothing quote unquote wrong. And all of these are great things. And I'm very fortunate and privileged to be able to have these celebrations and work from home and be, quote unquote busy in this way. But oftentimes I feel like this time of year can feel a lot heavier. It's not lighter, because we expect spring to feel lighter, but it can feel kind of heavy because we're adding a lot more to our plates, I don't if your kids are any winter sports are wrapping up. There might be playoffs, there might be tryouts. There's school events happening. We just had silly hair day. Thankfully, my kids' teachers helped because I did not do any silly hair for my kids yesterday morning. There's travel planning. There's, more social commitments as the weather warms up. You want to get out more. You want to be doing more. And then there's that pressure to, quote unquote, get your life together. And spring, we can feel that a lot, especially in the wellness and diet culture and exercise culture. It's you got to get snatched, you got to get your summer body. And it's nothing has been taken off our plate. So there's so many examples, but if you think about just your past weekend, and or a time recently where like you have been trying to juggle multiple things. Like just last weekend, my youngest had this called Jamboree where he played a number of 20-minute little hockey games, so we're kind of going back and forth from there. My other son had a birthday party. My oldest had hockey as well. We're trying to go back and forth between all of these things, these different schedules. Early morning, we're trying to pack for a whole day and get snacks ready and spare clothes. And what happens if his socks are wet and he needs something else? And coordinating and when is he going to eat? And if he has hockey at this time, what time is lunch going to be? And then it's just like not even just that; it's just everything around it that lives in your brain before it even happens. And it's like, when am I going to clean toilets? This is, of course, this is the mental load. So I feel like we all just need to take a quick breath here, especially me. But now that we are in spring, I would love us to do a reframe, And so instead of asking, what should I add this spring? I want us all to collectively ask ourselves, what can I release? Because, of course, it's not necessary and it's not realistic to have a full life overhaul, but we just need a little bit of relief, a little bit of breathing room. And it's not about doing nothing because, again, not realistic, but it is about entering spring being a bit more intentional with what is staying on our plate and what we are going to remove. And I've done workshops on this. I love this topic, and it's something I need to come back to every year. I need to remind myself about this. And so here are 3 areas where we can spring detox our life, okay? And I don't want to sound cliche here. I want this to be really grounded. And so I've done, some research. I'm trying to make this sound not condescending because I'm not up here on my high horse saying I've got it all figured out. I'm doing this with you. So the first step is to detox your commitments. Okay. And so this sort of falls into, if you've ever taken a look at the Juggle is Real Authentic Self-Care Planner, these are sort of the pillars of well-being that I come back to monthly. And this one kind of fits within nurture, and it's really taking a look at what is coming up. So maybe you're going to look a week ahead, maybe you're going to look a month ahead, maybe you're going to look, into your Q2 and ask yourself, okay, what is currently on the horizon and where am I saying yes out of obligation? Are there things that are feeling heavy, just looking ahead? It hasn't happened yet. It's not even like in the near future, but you already know it's coming up and it already feels heavy just because it's on your calendar. So I want to say this is normal. We've all done this. We've all said yes out of obligation, or we might just be continuing things just because we've always done it this way, or we've always been the one to step up and do something. So there is a study from the Journal of Health Psychology that shows that this perceived lack of control over time is a major contributor to stress. So it's not just busyness itself. It's not about how much you have. It's just a lot of it feels like what has been chosen, like what is in your control and what's out of your control. So are there things on your plate, and looking forward into the spring, things that are on your plate right now that feel heavy, that you might be just doing out of obligation? Are there things that you can remove? So when we're detoxing our commitments, are there things that we can release even just for a period of time? I'm not saying forever and ever and always, but if we're feeling overwhelmed right now, if our nervous system is in this like really heightened place, well, can we remove some things, release some obligations, and take that little detox period this season? Because this brings me to number 2, which is to detox that mental clutter. And this would fall into my pillar of discard, of course, because, and we've talked about this before, the constant open tabs in your brain, the things that you haven't decided on, or the conversations that you're replaying in your mind, or you saw the email come through, you haven't replied to it. So you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like mentally replying to emails at 3 a.m., but you're not actually doing it. Or maybe there's tasks that are on your list, but you keep postponing. And so this is, again, we're coming back to the Zeigarnik effect. And we've talked about this in past episodes, but the Zeigarnik effect shows that the unfinished tasks, these unclosed loops, the tabs in your brain, they take up more mental space than the completed ones. Because when you can click the little X on the task, knowing, okay, it's done, it's taken care of, it's like under control, that matters. And then those tiny little decisions matter, replying to the email, making the call, writing something down, putting it in your notes, putting it on a post-it note, closing the loop. So I would say that if we can do a little mental clutter detox right now as we enter spring, we're going to start feeling a lot better because we won't have as many open tabs or unclosed loops in our brain. So I know it's easier said than done, but if we can even try to close a few more loops, because then we get to number 3, which is really maybe the most important and something I need to be, reminded of. If you could just call me, or actually don't call me. I hate phone calls. I'm true millennial over here. Just text me every day. This episode of The Juggle is Real is supported by Nintendo Switch 2. If you have kids, you probably know the phrase that pops up the most when they're home for a little while. I'm bored. Womp womp. Where's the sound effect for that? In our house, one thing that always brings everyone together is a little friendly competition. My boys have grown up playing games on the Nintendo Switch, and they love setting up tournaments for our game nights. And now families can take that experience even further with the Nintendo Switch 2 system, which is the next evolution in gaming and a really fun way to bring everyone together, whether that's during a game night at home or on the go during road trips. 2 family-friendly games that are perfect for this are Mario Kart World and Super Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2. Mario Kart World has this new knockout tour mode where 24 racers compete and players get eliminated one by one until there's a single champion left. It's a fast-paced, unpredictable, and exactly the kind of chaotic fun that kids love. And Super Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2 are incredible cosmic adventures with updated visuals and new transformations, which are perfect for kids who love exploring and storytelling through games. And with the Super Mario Galaxy movie coming to theaters this April, it is a really fun time for families to jump into these adventures together. So take I'm bored and turn it into unforgettable family fun with the Nintendo Switch 2. Great at home for family game nights and on the go for road trips too. Learn more at nintendo.ca. Now let's get back to the episode. But number 3 is detox the pressure to do it all perfectly or to do it all well, and this would fall into my pillar of growth because this is the sneaky one. This is, we all, I think, have these expectations of ourselves and we hold ourselves to these very unrealistic, unattainable sort of, places where we want to be fully present. We want to be fully productive. We want to be fully organized, fully on top of everything, all at the same time. And of course, we want to be snatched and we want to, be like following the latest trends for what is in for spring. Are we wearing skinny jeans? Are we wearing, wide leg jeans? Is it high waist? Is it low waist again? Like we want to know all the things. We want to be on top of the things. We want to have that one-on-one time with our family, be fully present, parents and partners. But studies on role overload and burnout, this is coming from Maslach and Leiter, maybe Leader, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's from 2016. And it shows that chronic stress comes less from effort and more from conflicting expectations without relief. I want to say that again, okay? Because relief is like such a big thing. Chronic stress comes less from effort. Okay, so like the effort we're putting into everything, but more from those conflicting expectations that we have about trying to stay on top of everything without experiencing any relief in between. So the goal here isn't to continue doing everything and to get better and do everything better. Honestly, the goal and it's a challenging one, but it is to do less things. So to do fewer things with more honesty. So maybe we can't do everything and be everyone to everybody and do it all perfectly. But if we can release that pressure to do everything well, we're going to be, reducing the mental clutter. We're going to be reducing that physical things that are on our plate. So if we're doing fewer things, we can be more honest with ourselves and probably just, instead of trying to focus on doing it perfectly, if we're doing less tasks and being really honest with ourselves, it's probably going to be better in the end, right? So this is like really this question that we have to come back to. And it's, we're talking about growth, personal growth and personal development and self-improvement. And we're in this beautiful season of renewal and growth and springtime. But what if this season, just hear me out, what if this season wasn't about becoming the best version of yourself, but about supporting and really like supporting this version of you right now who is already doing a lot? And I want to let that land, like what if it's not about bigger and better and greater, but just like, here I am right here and now. How can I support myself with what is happening in my life right now? And so, here's something simple. Maybe instead of doing this grandiose reset, we're going to all collectively do the spring release list. And instead of the to-do list, because gosh, I don't have to tell you, I know you've got multiple to-do lists. I've got my own to-do list. And yeah, of course, maybe I do want to do some gardening this spring and we just moved and I want to do some things around the house and there's lots always to do. But instead of another to-do list, what if we did the release list and we ask ourselves, okay, so what am I carrying? Like, what is this load that I am feeling the weight of? And while I'm looking at, what's on my plate, what are things that can wait? What actually matters like right now? What matters this week? What matters this month? And what can be released. And so this is something that I come back to. This is the monthly sort of reset with the Juggler's Real Authentic Self-Care Planner. It's creating space to see what actually matters right now. So spring, it doesn't have to be a full reset. It can be this soft shift and you can meet yourself where you are now, a little bit of letting go, a little bit of clearing out, and a little more space to breathe inside your real life. And if you're feeling that weight right now, you're not behind. You're just carrying a lot. We all are. And so as we close out, I just want to thank you so much for spending this time with me and for hearing me out. I hope you will join me in this spring release. And if this resonated with you, I would love to hear, like, what is one thing you're ready to release this season? You can send me a message on Instagram. My handle is Andryanna G, ANDRYANNAG. There's an email address in the notes for this podcast episode. And if it did resonate, can you share this episode? Send it to a friend, someone who might need to do this release as well. And if you're looking for a simple way to support yourself through the busy seasons like this, my self-care planner is always a gentle place for you to land, for you to come back to, for you to remind yourself that you matter, your needs matter, and in very small, simple ways, the tiny little pockets, you can care for yourself too. So of course, you can find the Juggle is Real Authentic Self-Care Planner on Amazon. There's also a link in the notes for this podcast episode that'll take you right there. And of course, make sure you're subscribed, follow along, come on back. We've got some great episodes, some incredible guests coming up, so you do not want to miss out. Until the next episode, thank you so much and take good care.